The future of business belongs to those who adapt quickly and think proactively. To emerge successfully despite drawbacks from the last couple of years, you need a reliable partner that keeps a positive outlook of the future, understands the trends, and is able to elevate your business. A reliable partner that can help you reach your goals and keep your business protected. As pioneers of telecommunications in the country, Eastern Communications has always been the solutions partner of choice for the biggest and most successful industry players in the country. At Eastern, customers come first. Our first motivation for innovation and first in our mind to serve. Our customers are the answer to our why. We aim to create healthy and lasting partnerships by identifying their needs and placing their requirements in front of everything. At the end of the day, we want to give the best possible experience for our customers. We understand that our customers have unique needs. We put the human connection in everything that we do. Our heart of service is shown through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners for enterprise, small and medium enterprises, and consumer needs. At Eastern, the industries that we serve always stay ahead of the game. Our high-tech and high-touch solutions allow us to view the world through our customers' eyes and provide them the most meaningful experience. Our data, internet, and voice solutions, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. Attacks can happen anytime and when you least expect them. But with our security solutions, your network, your data, and your customers' data are protected. Whether it's before, during, or after an attack, we are here to ensure that data risk and security measures are implemented. As we evolve with a fast-paced digital economy, it is essential to be equipped with the most up-to-date and secure cloud computing technology. Our cloud and data center solutions ensure that you have the resources to innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve your customers efficiently. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to effectively conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products under our network solutions portfolio. Remote work is here to stay. And as this shift in work setup continues, the most reliable business applications should be adapted. With our business applications, your employees can work remotely and maintain their productivity and efficiency. Finally, as your business partners, we provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. We have a long-standing commitment to keep a better connected and a digitally secure country. By constantly expanding our footprint, we are reaching and bringing our services to areas where our services are needed the most. We believe that hand in hand, we can forge a much brighter future. Together, let's emerge stronger. The future of business belongs to those who adapt quickly and think proactively. To emerge successfully despite drawbacks from the last couple of years, you need a reliable partner that keeps a positive outlook of the future, understands the trends, and is able to elevate your business. A reliable partner that can help you reach your goals and keep your business protected. As pioneers of telecommunications in the country, Eastern Communications has always been the solutions partner of choice for the biggest and most successful industry players in the country. At Eastern, customers come first, our first motivation for innovation, and first in our mind to serve. Our customers are the answer to our why. We aim to create healthy and lasting partnerships by identifying their needs and placing their requirements in front of everything. At the end of the day, we want to give the best possible experience for our customers. We understand that our customers have unique needs. We put the human connection in everything that we do. Our heart of service is shown through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners for enterprise, small and medium enterprises, and consumer needs. At Eastern, the industries that we serve always stay ahead of the game. Our high-tech and high-touch solutions allow us to view the world through our customers' eyes and provide them the most meaningful experience. Our data, internet, and voice solutions, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. Attacks can happen anytime and when you least expect them. But with our security solutions, your network, your data, and your customers' data are protected. Whether it's before, during, or after an attack, we are here to ensure that data risk and security measures are implemented. As we evolve with a fast-paced digital economy, it is essential to be equipped with the most up-to-date and secure cloud computing technology. Our cloud and data center solutions ensure that you have the resources to innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve your customers efficiently. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to effectively conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products under our network solutions portfolio. Remote work is here to stay. And as this shift in work setup continues, the most reliable business applications should be adapted. With our business applications, your employees can work remotely and maintain their productivity and efficiency. Finally, as your business partners, we provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. We have a long-standing commitment to keep a better connected and a digitally secure country. By constantly expanding our footprint, we are reaching and bringing our services to areas where our services are needed the most. We believe that hand in hand, we can forge a much brighter future. Together, let's emerge stronger.
All right, everyone, it looks like we're ready to begin. A pleasant afternoon to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Eastern's E-Huddle series, Ignite the Strength of Rising Together. My name is Carla Barretto, and I am your host for this afternoon, and it's so great to see everybody again for yet another session. Now, all the previous episodes of this series have been very insightful and meaningful, of course. And this afternoon will certainly be nothing short of that. We are excited to bring you another afternoon filled with learning. As usual, we will be having trivia questions posted in the chat. Whoever gets the answers correctly has the chance to win special prizes. So make sure you stay tuned to the chat box for those questions. All right, but what's at stake for these trivia questions? 5 lucky winners will get special e-vouchers from Giftaway. So make sure that you pay attention and be quick in answering the questions. Simple as that. Also, make sure that the name you are using in the chat is identifiable and the same as the name that you use to register for this program. Of course, we want to be able to reach you and find you if you are one of the winners of the day. All right, aside from that, Eastern is also giving away amazing raffle prizes. If you've been here before, you know the drill. We're going to get to that a little bit later. But if you have registered for this program, then you are automatically qualified for that. And we'll get to more on that in just a while. But for now, I think it's time to get started officially, right? So here to welcome all of us is Eastern Communications Industry Head for Government and Services, Mr. Carlo Azul.
Thanks, Carla. A pleasant afternoon to everyone. Welcome to another series of e-huddles made specially for enterprise businesses like yours. This year's theme, Ignite, the strength of rising together, aims to enjoy the different industries, the business sectors, and other stakeholders to ignite the changing power we hold in our hands. This power will serve as an enduring source of light in these rather troubled times. Together, we aim to continue to foster quality and equality as well as integrity, as if we are existing in an ideal business climate. We, Eastern Communications, will be your partner in creating a virtuous cycle of growth, sustainability, and profitability. The pandemic may have left us depleted deep inside, but we continue and persevere. Business-wise, we have adopted flexibility in our activities, strengthened ourselves for the next cycles, and invested highly on digital technology. Yes, there are a lot of opportunities in the post-pandemic era, yet we also need to brace ourselves for external conditions. This is why we have the Ignite series of webinars. Let us ignite our future by acting collectively now. We can certainly find strength in each other. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Hello.
Back to you, Carla.
Mr. Carlo Azul, thank you so much. And we're going to keep the ball rolling. We're just going to jump right into it, shall we? So to kickstart the presentations for this afternoon, we have, of course, our very own Ka-Eastern. Having extensive experience in developing and strategizing promotions for the MSME and consumer industries, he continues to share his experiences as a segment manager for the government and services industry. He graduated from the University of Perpetual Help with a bachelor's degree in marketing management. He is a certified marketing professional and has accomplished professional certifications in digital marketing, digital advertising, and cybersecurity. Let's hear now from the Enterprise Segment Manager for Government and Services Industry, Mr. Gian Barcarse.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. The pandemic's effect over the past 2 years changed the way we live and the way we work. Everyone was forced to adapt and adjust in order to cope with the changes the pandemic brought. Many businesses had to accelerate their digital transformation, and that meant, ready or not, they had to find ways to address the shift in how business is conducted and meet the changing demands of their customers. Now that the things are slowly returning to normal, There are some practices or behaviors that gained as a result of the pandemic that have become the norm. Let's go through some of them. From working in the office, we are all now accustomed to working from anywhere. In a survey conducted by LinkedIn, more than half of their respondents, or 55%, believe that remote work will be effective for their industry and will persist post-pandemic. This confidence is higher digitally inclined fields such as software and media. However, more conservative industries such as healthcare and retail are still polarized with the idea. More than half of Filipino workers, or 52%, have been working from home for years now, based on the study joined by JobStreet. While the setup took its toll on employees' mental health, roughly 49% still prefer staying remote. It has become something that workers and job seekers look for in employers. From brick and mortar shopping, people embraced online shopping or e-commerce due to the fluctuating restrictions we experienced in the last 2 years. Consumers' confidence when transacting online has grown, and they are turning to e-commerce platforms for their retail purchases. These platforms provide more variety in terms of shopping and offer competitive prices. This has resulted in an increasing e-commerce market size, which was estimated to grow fourfold between 2021 and 2025. For many countries, the Philippines included, have shifted from classroom to online education through online learning platforms. Even government have promoted mobile learning as an efficient ways through which students continue learning. This push has allowed online learning platforms to flourish. Students can choose from 3 flexible learning modes. First is online, which uses available online classroom for instruction delivery. Second, offline, which involves printed modules and digital media storage devices. And third is blended, which combines online and offline modes. Learning has shifted from traditional mode to online learning. With the shift, online education is considered the reasonable choice. From traditional banking, people were pushed to familiarize themselves with online banking and alternative payment solution, which accounted for 30.6% total e-commerce payment in 2021. This is closely followed by cash, which has 29.8% share, while payment cards or credit cards account for 23.5%. And these statistics will continue to grow in the coming months and years. We changed the way we work, shop, and learn, and as a result of the pandemic. And according to our market scan, the effect of the pandemic will last well into 2022 and beyond. The acceleration of digitalization in many sectors of economy will not necessarily result in the loss of traditional jobs. Rather, it will emphasize the importance of upskilling and reskilling workers to make them more productive. The rise of e-commerce in retail sectors has also led to an increase in the use of digital payments, which is expected to continue in the coming years and beyond. Another positive impact of the pandemic on retail is an increase in cloud app development via AI-enabled technologies and cybersecurity, all in the name of improving the customer experience. Lastly, education is not limited to the classroom. It is also include corporate training and development. The future of education is digital. Blended learning will become more prevalent, but it will heavily reliant on internet penetration and or next generation's connectivity, as well as relevant ICT solutions such as learning platforms and the cloud and cybersecurity. The pandemic impacted hospitality industry significantly in the last 2 years. Like most industries, the industry had to innovate in order to adjust and adapt to the change, not only in the way business is done, but also the change in customers' behavior, which has accelerated hospitality trends and triggered lasting change. One of those change is leisure travelers and hotel workspaces. As I mentioned earlier, working remotely is forecasted to become more than just a passing trend. It's here to stay. This means that hospitality venues are being used as a makeshift office for leisure travelers, as well as locals seeking a change for work environment. This is a great opportunity for hotels and F&Bs venues to capitalize on trends and adapt their offering to meet their needs and wants of this emerging segment. Ample plug sockets, free high-speed Wi-Fi, and great coffee are a good starting point. The next is digitalized guest experience. Apps are increasingly important in the way hoteliers manage the service they provide in their customers and can now control many aspects of guest cycle and experience. Needless to say, the trend towards digital and contactless service has gained new momentum since 2022. Traditionally, customers facing service are being given an overhaul thanks to the more widespread use of technology-assisted options, such as mobile check-in, contactless payments, voice control, and biometrics. Customizations or personalizations are still hot topics. In today's environment, they expect to be recognized and treated as individuals. Platforms such as Mailchimp and Zoho have made personalized email marketing available to the general public, enabling communications that are highly targeted to a specific audience. This goes well beyond merely personalizing email greetings, as hotels use data to tailor their promotions to a specific customer taste and past experience. Virtual and augmented reality is something that can be considered. Following the trend toward visually appealing content, organizations in the hospitality industry could take advantage of features like virtual tours, which allows customers to imagine themselves in digital environment. An establishment will stand out by using 360-degree videos to show its atmosphere, such as cafe terraces surrounded by lush flora or hotel beachfront sites. As an example, making virtual reality content accessible in a wide range of devices without the requirements for a VR headset is essential to attracting as wide an audience as possible. Guests may simply point their mobile phones at the real-world items in order to access extra information about them. After downloading an app, user may use it to find out when the restaurants open, read reviews, see interactive maps of the area, or even contribute their own materials. Next is sustainability. Sustainability plays a vital role in the hospitality industry. Hospitality and tourism establishments' success depends on their preservation of natural and cultural attractions that makes them appealing to tourists and drive them to visit their destinations. Sustainable practices make hospitality organizations stand out. A recent study shows that the pandemic has made consumers even more concerned about the environment when making choices than before. Nearly half of the respondents says that they are more concerned about the environment than before the pandemic and have changed their purchases based on environmental claims within the past years. This shows that today's traveler and consumer care about sustainability. They want to know that the establishments they are supporting and giving their business to follow sound environmental, social, and cultural practices. For example, a Nielsen study found that nearly 75% of millennial and Gen Z respondents are willing to take action to support this and are willing to pay more for products and services that don't harm environment, deplete, and natural resources or negatively affect the lives of people or wildlife. Our experience during the last 2 years gave us a better understanding of our customer and their needs, and then in the now or next normal. So how can brands or businesses succeed and emerge stronger in the post-COVID business landscape? You start with the customers. When designing new work models, companies should think like their customers and anticipate how their needs and preference will change the work. We recommend that you equip your employees with the right tools while also elevating them or giving them access to training or opportunities where they could upskill or reskill themselves, sharpen the blade, so to speak. Next, encourage innovation, but not just innovating for the sake of innovating, rather than innovate with purpose. Then allow your organization to develop a digital mindset or a set of attitude and behavior that enables you to see how data, algorithm, and AI open new possibilities and to chart a path for success in an increasingly technology intensive world. Finally, be on the lookout for signs of distress and employee burnout. First, equip employees. Equip your employees with the right tools. They would need to make sure that they can do their tasks effectively and efficiently, whether they're in office or working remotely. Now that the hybrid work arrangement have become the norm, make sure your employees have the technology they need to be successful, which may be more than just mobile phone and laptop. For example, if you have expect employees to attend virtual meeting, do they have adequate cameras, good connectivity, and appropriate collaboration tools? Even if you don't have an extensive set of technology and collaborative tools available, you can equip employees to function effectively when remote. But don't just assume that people know how to operate with virtual communications or are comfortable in that environment. Acknowledge that virtual communications are different and wouldn't be perfect, but should still be professional and respectful of others. Be mindful that virtual communication may be less comfortable and effective for some, and coach employees on when and how to escalate an effective virtual exchange. Second, encourage innovation. With businesses sheltering in places amidst high level of uncertainty, managers and employees may understandably become more risk averse. There's a natural hesitance among employees during disruptive times and be afraid to trying something new. But innovating is important to move forward and ensure that you have the right products, solutions, and processes to address the needs of your customers, both internal and external. Keep in mind that innovations that the most have the impact solve real customer needs while also improving, optimizing, or streamlining internal operations. Fosters a culture of innovation across your business and become highly responsive to changing customer needs. And these innovation do not have to be large. Even when the organization has constraints on new investment, managers can emphasize the need and provide opportunities for incremental innovation or process improvements. Provide opportunities to share success and safety for potential failures. Make an effort to highlight the value of employees, continuing to scale their activities and ensure that any risks are worthwhile. Elevate your employees. Company needs to purposely create culture and connection. They should build all employees' capabilities to thrive today's and future work models. And they should balance the needs of the organizations, teams, and employees. And they should actively engage employees in co-creating the future together. Companies should craft a talent strategy that develops employees' critical digital and cognitive capabilities, their social and emotional skills, and their adaptability and resilience. Now is the time for companies to double down on their learning budgets and commit reskilling for future disruptions. In addition to that, develop a digital mindset. Learning new technologies is essential for digital transformation, but it's not enough. Employees must be motivated to use skills to create new opportunities. They need a digital mindset. Psychologists describe mindset as a way of thinking and orienting to the world that shapes how we perceive, feel, and act. A digital mindset is a set of attitude and behavior that enables people and organizations to see how data and algorithm and AI open up new possibilities to chart a path for success in a business landscape increasingly dominated by data-intensive and intelligence in technologies. Lastly, but probably the most relevant and yet overlooked, be on the lookout for sign of distress. Take care of people and adapt to their work preferences. Understand that individual work at different speed and at their most productive setting might vary. Some prefer to work alone, others in group. Be flexible and allow your most valuable workers the freedom to choose their own work style within the constraint of the organizations. PwC research shows that many employees are similarly committed to giving remote workers what they need to be more productive. Use both direct conversation and indirect observation to get visibility into employees' challenge and concern. Use every opportunity to make clear employees that you support and care for them. At Eastern, we are committed to ensuring that we not only have the right solution, but also care for our customers and employees. We take time to understand their needs and provide relevant products and services, and provide exceptional customer service. Having a heart of a service in all that we do is at the core of our culture as Eastern employees. At Eastern, on top of a solid and reliable technology, delighting our customers is at the forefront of our brand of personalized services because human connections are equally important. We recognize that our customer needs have shifted and will continue to shift in order to adapt the new ways of working, which is why strengthen our ICT solutions portfolio to help our customers be in a better positions to emerge stronger and be better prepared for future disruption. In addition to our connectivity solution, we have a healthy suite of network, cybersecurity, cloud and data center, and business application solutions to provide your business needs. And as a testament to our innovative spirit, we just recently unveiled our Experience Center. We have a long-standing commitment to see business prosper and families better connected to do our part in nation building, which is why our expansion effort in other regions and areas are ongoing to support nationwide services, especially the underserved communities. Internally, we make sure that all our employees have equal opportunities to gain new skills. Eastern employees have access to various training courses relevant to their jobs. Our sales and technical teams are also undergo certifications to make sure that they are able to provide a support and solutions we carry with consistency. In addition to technical trainings, we also provide our employees access to webinars and other online resources that will ensure that they have a healthy state of mind. We provide them with mental health consultation when they need it. We appreciate an open door and open feedback policy that gives employees an opportunity to have an open lines of communication with the management. These are just some of the things that we do at Eastern that we hope you can take inspiration from. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. If there is anything that we could help you with, please do not hesitate to reach out to us via contact details you see on the screen or reach out to our Eastern account managers. They would be more than willing to have a discussion with you. That's all for now, Ka-Eastern. Please be safe, everyone. Take it from here, Carla.
Thanks so much to our Ka-Eastern Gian Barcarse there. And, I going through E-Huddle and hosting these episodes, I really get a chance to see how the high-tech and high-touch philosophy is really applied every day at Eastern Communications. And it's nice to see this angle because it shows not just application towards customers, but also internally. I like how this discussion has been opened that flexibility, compassion for your workers, it's not necessarily something that leads to any kind of loss, but can actually be a strength. And it's great to see that being explored for our businesses. Okay, So let's keep the ball rolling, shall we, everyone? Let's see here. Where are we at here? I want to remind everybody to take a look at the chat box because those trivia questions will be popping up, and we encourage you to take part in that and answer those questions because some lucky winners are going to be getting giveaway vouchers for getting the correct answer. All right, folks, let's keep going here. On to our keynote speaker of the day. Our keynote speaker for the day is the co-founder of the Circle Hostel, Make a Difference Travel, The Plastic Solution, and Seed Nation. He is also the president of AVD Green Construction. Please welcome three-time TEDx speaker and a champion on sustainability and ecotourism, Mr. Rafael Dionisio.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you to everyone who has organized this event today. I really appreciate being here. I am very excited to share with all of you. So if you will, allow me to share my screen, and I'll be sharing with you the direction or what we believe is where tourism is headed. So again, my name is Raf. I am the co-founder of Make a Difference Travel and Make a Difference courses. I'm also the sustainability consultant currently for British School Manila. And today we're going to talk about the future of tourism, winning together and growing together, right? And so today I'd like to talk about two locations, the land and the sea, which basically are the two divides of our tourism sector, right? And I'll be very direct with you. These are the trends that are coming out. More sharing, more technology, more authenticity, and less waste. Please take a screenshot, take a photo of this. These are your key takeaways. I'm going to go into them a bit more, right? So to start off, we work with a lot of indigenous people in the travel sector. And I'd like to share with you this story. In these pictures, the indigenous people of Dumagat of Antipolo, Rizal are negotiating with large corporations for different infrastructure in the area, possibly the dam, right? And they say, for us indigenous people, we also want progress, but our idea of progress and the progress you speak of, meaning you in the city, might be different. The progress that the indigenous people want means taking care of land and sea. These are rooted in deep cultural values that span before colonization of the Philippines, right? And as unfortunate circumstance would have it, we are the most vulnerable to climate change in different rankings around the world, right? And with tourism specifically, I'd like to tie it to working with local communities who are living in these different land areas that need to be regenerated, rewilded, right? So that we have a better environment. So couple of trends I'd like you guys to see in terms of community-based tourism. 72% of travelers want to help boost tourism in local economies. 73% of travelers would like to have an authentic experience that are representative of the culture. And 84% believe that preservation of cultural heritage is crucial, and 76% want to be sure that their economic impact is spread equally through society. That's not Geo already talking, right? And they make actually a very good point. One of Dr. Kimbu of the University of Surrey asks, is your tourism just taking place in the community, or is it one that's actively engaging and benefiting the community, right? There's a difference between just being there and being deliberately there to engage, right? So there we go. These are the questions you guys will have to ask yourselves when you build your tourism for the future, right? Because at the end of the day, travelers are looking for people, they're looking for the planet, and for us businesses, we also have to make sure that it's profitable for us. But the value is now it's a three bottom line kind of value system that we have now, right? And so in the mountains, I'd like to share a story that will illustrate what I mean by this, because it sounds so fluffy, right? So a couple of years ago, I was hiking here and I posted a picture because I thought it was beautiful. And then suddenly, my friends commented on my Facebook and said, "Oh, that mountain behind you needs reforestation. Look how bare it is." Then another guy said, "Right, that hill has lost most of its topsoil." And I didn't know much about the environment back then. So I did my research and look what I found. The year the Spanish sold us to the US in 1900, 70% primary rainforest. 2016, 3% primary rainforest. Today, less than 2. We lost our lumber. Right? It became a source of wood for the world. And one of the things that happens when you don't have trees is you lose the regular ability of a rainforest to regulate water. So it gets hotter, right? You can see in these pictures above, a road with trees much cooler versus below a road without trees much hotter. I mean, we all wait in the shade, have a picnic in the shade, park in the shade. We all like shade, right? Who doesn't? Right? And the lack of water also interferes with the world's crops. So it affects farmers, the communities themselves who are representative of the local culture that were mentioned earlier. Right? And here's just some staggering data. Some rivers have lost 75% of their water in a span of 50 years. I don't know what that water situation is now, but I know it's going down because the forest continues to dwindle. And to just illustrate the effect, in the flip side, during the rainy season, you have a faucet from the heavens just opening, and it creates this is a category 4 or 5 storm, right? Dumping water. Look, floods. We've all experienced floods in the Philippines, right? And this video should illustrate to you the benefit of a forest. On the left side, you have a box with soil, and there's nothing planted in it. As you put water on it, that's simulating rain. The water takes soil and it comes out on the top pipe, right? Very quickly. Look, it's bringing soil, so it's dirty water, not dirty water, but it's murky water. That's a landslide. That's a flash flood, right? And that's all the healthy organic compost fertilizer on your soil going down the mountains into the rivers and then into the sea, right? Very quickly, right? Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got a box with plants, same setup on the pipes, but look, the water comes out at the bottom because the plants take the water and bring it down to the bottom where their roots are. And then the plants hold the soil as well. And so the water that comes out is clearer and it comes out at a much more predictable pace. And so now there's no more watering above, no more rain, so to speak, in the real world. And there's still water. And that water will be the water in our rivers, in our streams, right? In our waterfalls. So the forest, this is what it does, right? And when you run out of the forest and you don't have the right water system anymore, there's crop failure. And wherever there's crop failure, there are starving farmers. And wherever there are starving farmers, you have civil unrest. I mean, that's why people get mad, because they feel left behind. Climate change isn't their fault, but they have no choice, right? And so our tourism takes place in one such area that has no more trees, right? This is San Felipe Zambales, Sitio Yangil. Take a look at those mountains, hardly anything on it, right? And then initially, we just wanted to plant a rainforest, right? For water and for climate change, right? So I tried planting, but I realized very soon that we needed to create livelihood for the people, because they said, if we don't have livelihood, we may have to cut these trees up for charcoal, right? Or we're not going to plant with you for free because we need to earn money. So we were thinking, how do we do both? Get them to earn, get them to plant. And so we set up tribes and treks run by Mad Travel and the Circle Hostel. And basically, we would get people to walk through the ancestral domain, right, on a hike. They take a grab carabao. They're too tired. You could experience tribal archery, right? And you could learn and dance the ancient talipi, something that mimics animals in nature. So the kids and the elders would teach it, right? And then we would also learn about indigenous herbal medicine. We should talk about snake bites, rabies, fever, much more. Like herbal medicine is the bomb. And then eating. We help the community set up their own restaurant, so to speak. They cook marvelously. We just have to pick the right food items that guests will like, both local and foreign. And then we got the guests and the community to plant trees, bamboo, fruit trees, as much as you like, for half a day, right? And so that was all part of the tour payment, right? And I remember the first time we successfully ran the tour. This guy, the chieftain at that time, RSE, was supposed to receive a few thousand pesos. And he said something I'll never forget. He said, "Sir, I don't want the money. Don't pay me." And I was like, "Why? I mean, I'm doing this for you to earn." And then also we plant at the same time. And then he said, "Because if you give me money, I might spend it on cell phone load. I might spend it on cigarettes. I might spend it on 3-in-1 coffee. And none of that is sustainable. If you're really coming back, and if you're our partner, bring us seeds, because seeds, even if they are stolen, will be planted by the thief. And those seeds will grow and benefit the youth in our area." So I was very surprised. I was shocked, as a lot of Gen Z and millennials call it. And we thought, wow, this guy's for real. He's kind of like a real life Yoda telling us different lessons. And so we listened to what he said, and we started getting seeds. And so the next video will show you the different ways in which we got seeds, brought it to them, and you'll see the effects on their community over the last 5 years. So you can see that we really made an effort to go beyond tourism and really connect with them on multiple revenue streams. I'm talking business here, I'm talking them as partners. They need to earn, and we can be very creative about it. That's the beauty of tourism, right? And one thing that we have to be cautious of as we move into these communities is there are certain things that we have to keep in mind, that we have to move away from a charity mindset to a sustainability mindset, because normally we see communities as an object of charity, right? And this elder was telling me the first time we met, she told me that, "I want a relationship with you where you help us in our tourism, but we also add value to you. So makinabang ka, makinabang ako." She said, because if only one person benefits, that relationship is not sustainable, and then no one's going to create value for each other, right? And that was a very important lesson for my team in tourism, right? And so with COVID, we were forced to actually pivot and create MAD courses, which is more of an online program connected to our tourism, still teaching, still taking the educational side of the community's experiences, so that we could still connect with them throughout the hard lockdowns, right? And today, even as the lockdowns are, relaxed, online is here to stay. And so this is a very good tech lens, right? So we work with the community, getting them, familiar with technology. Hi, guys. And what we've done is we've created a self-guided adventure. Think the choose your own adventure books we had in the 80s and 90s, right? Where you get to a page and like, oh, do I do option 1 or option 2? We do that on video with the communities as a digital tour where you choose who you want to talk to and where you want to go. Here's a short simulation that you can take a look at. Hi guys, my name is Raf. I'm going to take you on a journey to discover my life as a social entrepreneur. You ready for a hike? Right, so you get to pick here. Hi, hello! Oi, basta. Ready? Oh no, because it's eating on the way. And here, you go with me as the guide. So this valley wasn't always the way it looks today. About 30 years ago, this valley was filled with rice fields and cotton fields. We had a regularly flowing river, lots of trees. But deforestation and eventually the explosion of Mount Pinatubo destroyed the entire ecosystem. In fact, when the volcano erupted, it buried everything here in 50 feet or 17 meters of ash, which basically hit the reset button into society. And that really resulted in the community here being left behind technologically, food security-wise, and even forgetting parts of their culture. So we have inserted some challenges online, right? But so that people can, really process their learning. Things that they would learn on a trip, right? And now you get to pick a different guide. This time, let's go with Chieftain.
Gusto ko po na maibalik yung kagubatan at andyan ang kabuhayan ng mga katutubo. Kung walang kagubatan, wala din ang kabuhayan ng mga katutubo. Doon nang gagaling yung tubig sa tinatawag ng water cycle. Pati yung tao, buhay din. Kasi nandoon na yung pwede nilang pakinabangan eh.
So, again, I asked the question, is your tourism just, it just happens to be there? Or are you deliberately there? Because in the stories that I just shared today, there are deliberate ways in which we can engage and partner with the communities, right? And building a relationship among equals is key. Unlearning our assumptions about these communities and learning new things about them. Because again, many times we come into communities with preconceived notions, and I was given a briefing about working with indigenous people, the Aitas, and realistically, in the last 7 years, all those assumptions, I see where they come from, but they're also amazing people, and there's so many things we can learn from them and do together with them, right? So I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about land and sea. Now we'll move to the sea, right? I am also a property owner. So I have my own accommodations and I like surf, right? And as luck would have it, the Department of Tourism is headed towards nature-based activities. We all know that, right? And so spending a lot of time surfing, this is my hostel in Surf Town, San Juan, La Union, Philippines, the Circle Hostel, right? Here are just some images of what we do in the hostel, yoga. It's very simple, right? Real backpacker lodging, affordable. And I want to connect the simplicity of our place to actually a lesson on sustainability, which you will see connecting a bit later, right? And the article I found that really represents it is from Harvard, saying consumers do buy sustainable products. In fact, sustainable products grew 5.6 times faster than non-sustainable products. Get that, 5.6 times, 560%. And also, people need to be aware of greenwashing, right? Because 96% of large firms report they have sustainability efforts, but Harvard says more often than not, they're hot air and no substance, right? So keep this in mind as I go through the story, because you'll see why sustainable products are so important. And that's the next big thing in tourism and later on in the rest of people's lives, right? And so surfing, this guy is a friend and he was my surf teacher, and he was surfing in a wave of trash. He was asking people in this photo to please be mindful of the plastic waste that you throw, right? Man, that river is nasty. And so the trash flows down the river. Doesn't matter where it's from, it's going to get into the ocean, which is all connected. And then it gets into the belly of the things we like to eat. Have you eaten yellowfin tuna? Anyone? Put it in the chat if you have.
Tiene un ojojoy. No, una tapa. Una tapa, basura, otro plástico, unos pedazos de botella, pedazos de plástico, tapa.
So really, there's just plastic trash everywhere. 90% of our bottled water has plastic in it. You can Google this. Even the most expensive water in the world, Evian, has microplastic. And microplastic fibers are plastic fibers thinner than your hair strand. You can't see it. You need a microscope. Salt in the Philippines is tested positive for microplastic. That doesn't belong in our body. It could kill us. And this is Siargao. Can you guess what bottle brands these two are? If you know in the chat, please put them there. And if you've guessed Coca-Cola and Nature Spring, you're absolutely correct. Now, I'm not product shaming. I'm just calling it as it is. It's floating there, right? Somebody left it there. And what's happening now is the government is coming up with a law that will ensure that producers are liable for the trash, the plastic products they produce. They have to actually throw it away too. They have to create the facility around it. The implementation rules are not yet set, but that's going to happen. Suddenly, waste management will have more teeth, so to speak, right? And part of the mindset really is the problem, right? People dine in and still use takeout cups. I hung out in this coffee shop for 4 hours, and everyone who dined in used a takeout cup. I don't know why we do that. It's a waste of money, right? But yeah, we dig our own grave there. And so there is a Republic Act about it, but the reality is only 30% of our barangays have materials like a sorting facility, right? Recovery facility or a segregation site. 30%, right? So this is our solution to it. Right?
When I talk to people in poor communities, they think that a plastic wrapper for biscuits is the same as a banana peel. To start this movement, what we have to do is to make collecting plastic simple, easy, and fun. If the bottle is about a liter, then you should be able to stuff 400 to 600 grams of plastic inside. It's better if the plastic is shredded so that you can really compact it, because the harder the bottle, the better it is for construction purposes. After people collect the bottles in their homes, in their schools, in their offices, they can drop them off at the build sites. Currently, the build sites are the Circle Hostel locations in the Philippines. So the basic method is that you dig just like you would in a normal wall, right? And then the base is filled with traditional hollow block. Then you start to pack these eco bricks, stack them on top. If we really want to eliminate the plastic problem in the Philippines or anywhere around the world, we need to localize production of pretty much everything. I think the Philippines is a good example of a country that likes to import almost everything that we could be producing. And if so, we can create that mindset of working with these local producers. In the end, when you look at the plastic problem, I feel like it's tied very much to our education as well as our economics.
So we started a education campaign for plastic waste, basically teaching people, hey, you got to segregate. Here's why. Then here's how you do it. Right? It started with very simple technology, and we did our own proof of concept. Right? This wall is still here today. Right? And look, 1.5 tons of plastic trash in this wall rather than in the ocean. Right? So less plastic for the fish to eat. And we tried getting some popular people around the organization. I started with some friends. It's called the Plastic Solution. And then we even tried to get Miss Earth involved, going from campus to campus, right? Fueled by volunteers. And I can tell you, from the time we started 2016 to today, there's massive growth in plastic awareness, in the demand for companies to be more mindful of the plastic that they're using, right? There is a great demand. It's more than 70% of the youth today will ask for plastic-related waste management things. Okay? So in the interest of time, I can only show you one company that is actually scaling, and they're doing well because they're in the sustainable industry. This is a sample of the 5.6 times percent growing faster than others, right? And it's, you know what, in the construction industry with the most, construction industry has the most, money conscious buyers. And yet people are saying, hey, I'll build more sustainably. So take a look at these hollow blocks that use plastic waste as a raw material.
Kailangan po magpulot ng basura para po hindi na po maging sanhi ng mga pagbaha po. Yung basura po pwede maging bahay. Nakakatulong pa po tayo sa ating kalikasan.
So this company is called Green Ants, and I'm helping them with their marketing strategy. And they are a wonderful company to work with because they're really going to reduce the trash in the waste bins and the landfills, right? Would you rather have landfills or like parks? Very simple question, right? And they're pretty mainstream because companies like Monizen, McDonald's, Ayala, Cebu IT Park are using these products, Shell gas stations, right? And you're starting to see the trend where large corporations are becoming more conscious of and starting to put money into sustainable products, right? And so if the large corporations are doing it, perhaps you and I should think about that strategy as well, because these multinationals do the research, they know where the market's headed, and all signs are pointing towards sustainability. So just to synthesize everything, people will continue to learn about sustainable living through travel, because travel connects us, connects our customers to what unsustainable lifestyles will destroy, and that is nature, whether it's the land or the sea, right? And so I go back to one of the starting slides I had: more sharing, more technology, more authenticity, less waste. These are your guiding principles in developing your tourism 2022 and beyond, right? So again, the future of tourism together. When I say winning together, we have to earn together and we have to grow together. We have to grow our business together. We have to grow our relationship together, and we have to grow the environment together. And only then can we really come up with sustainable tourism for the Philippines. So, and by the way, Secretary Berna said it has to be regenerative tourism for the Philippines because we've kind of screwed up. We've went beyond what the Philippines can give. So now we have to fix it up, right? And so I hope that you guys can empower travelers to do good for people and planet, which in turn makes them feel good because sustainable is good, right? So let's talk and create more sustainable strategies that start at the heart of your organization. Just a shout out, if anyone needs help, our company, through our arm MAD Consulting, does provide ideation to implementation of sustainability programs catered to your organization and business model. So we have a think, feel, and act perspective on this, and we've done this for several parts before. So perhaps you need help, send me a message or an email. And yeah, if you'd like to keep in touch, please, there's my personal email listed there. And here are some of the Instagram accounts that I hope you can follow, which represent the different organizations that I'm associated with. So again, with that, thank you very much to the organizers and good luck to the viewers. I hope you guys picked up something and I'd love to chat. Let's have coffee. Yep. All right. Thank you and have a good day. Oh, here are just some links of articles that you should read. Good input for your business strategy in the future.
Rafael Dionisio, thank you so much for that illuminating talk, I'd say. And, I think this is really a good example of how ESG is really coming into our lives increasingly as individuals and as businesses, which is environmental, social, and governance. And, maybe a couple of decades ago, or even just as early as a decade ago, maybe the green choice was a novelty. It was a nice to have, but now we're seeing it increasingly becoming a demand. We as individuals are also seeing it in ourselves. And, we're starting to demand greener options and better options for our environment. And it's really, really great to see. And, on a personal note, back in 2016, I did start my eco-bricking journey as well. And it was because I saw those eco-bricks at a circle hostel. And luckily in my own community, there's a clean and dry plastic collection initiative already. So no more of the bottles for me, but it has been a life-changing journey, definitely. All right, so again, thank you to Raf. Let's move on now to our third speaker of the day. He is a cybersecurity consultant with a solid background and understanding on IT wired and wireless network and cloud infrastructure technologies, as well as in cybersecurity solutions with more than 9 years of experience in doing pre-sales consultation and solutions designing, technical implementation, and post-support for various IT enterprises. Financial institutions as well, and telecommunications companies in the Philippines. Let's welcome the systems engineer at Fortinet Security Philippines, Mr. James Arwin Bolito.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Ms. Carla. So again, guys, my name is James Bolito, one of the systems engineer from Fortinet Security Philippines, handling hospitality industry. So my presentation today is about the security transformation in hospitality. A new guest experience requires a new approach to security. Okay, so as we all know, digital transformation is one of the key or the initiative of all of the organizations. So hotels is actually booming and making a lot of profits because of the digital transformation that helps them provide more great experience to their guests and travelers globally. So because of this transformation also, they use enhanced technology and also cutting edge technology with using AI and some of the IoTs and digital communication to create a highly individualized, customized experience for each of their travelers. Because of this notion, we can see actually that the with the indirect economic contribution, so 10% of that in the global GDP is actually coming from the hospitality industry. And then we are seeing 5% to 6% growth rate still in the hospitality industry in 2018, and we are seeing a lot of it more, as days goes by, pre-pandemic and then up to this post-pandemic situation. So because of that transformation, I want to tackle a little bit what are actually the hospitality cybersecurity challenges that it brings. So first of that is actually the cost reduction. So most of the hotel industries or hoteliers are actually still looking to reduce their cost, in terms of their capital expense as well as the operational expense. Even though they are embracing the digital transformation, they still look for some ways on how they can maximize their current resources and still reduce their uh, expenses in terms of operations. So that's one thing. Second is actually the visibility, because of the multi-cloud environment or the promise of the cloud infrastructure, its agility, and then to leverage it and then to reduce the costs. So the hotel industry actually is looking to have a multi-cloud infrastructure to leverage their existing and to adapt to the cloud environment and leverage especially to the advantage of it, of the cloud, to provide the total cost of ownership to be reduced, on their side. So that's important. So that's why the visibility comes into play. So because of that, it's hard to see a multi-environment infrastructure. So the visibility is a challenge. Next with that is the operational efficiency. Because of all of those cutting edge technology and enhanced AI infrastructure, IoTs, as well as the other technological things that we can leverage, it provides a operational problem at the end. Sometimes, as we all know, our organizations actually have a limited manpower as well as the expertise. So it actually produces a problem in terms of the operation on how they operate, together with all of those multi-cloud and additional technology that they're embracing. Okay, and then the fourth one is actually the customer experience. So that's one of the important things because the hotels or hospitality industry needs to make sure that the experience of their customers, starting from booking up to the hotel, is end to end is a best in class and actually no problem. So it's very important to make the experience of the customers or guests is the highest priority for them. So starting from their booking to the website, they're using the website of the customer, the customers using the website of the hotel. We are seeing that most of the guests now is actually leveraging on the website. So we expect a large traffic, on the web application reservation of the hotels. So it needs to be addressed also together with that. So the security for all of those data is actually very important, as the guest actually inputs their personal information and their credit card or ATM information. So that needs to be secured. And lastly is the compliance reporting. So hospitality industry is actually subject to PCI and DSS standard. As I've said, the customer is actually using their website to make a booking, whether they pay it outright or pay it on site. So they still need to input their information as well as the some of the credit card information. So that's actually a compliance that the hospitality industry needs to adhere. So as the customer books, as I've said, the hotels needs to hold those informations, not just months, maybe years. Depends on the booking, how the customer books. So the hotels actually needs to protect those information as they hold it end to end, until the customer leaves at the end of its stay and leaves the hotel organization. So that's actually the 5 key challenges in the hospitality industry that we are seeing now. Right. So together with that, we are seeing a lot of the threat landscape. Okay. We are seeing that because of the digital transformation, the attack surface is actually expanded. So we see a lot of IoTs, or 70% of the hospitality executives actually has an active IoT initiative, meaning the previous tools or previous equipment that doesn't connect to internet actually connects to internet now. So that actually provides another surface for attack for the bad actors. Okay, and then 84% of the enterprise actually wants to have a multi-cloud strategy. Okay? As I've said, because multi-cloud offers a lot of benefits, no, including to reduce the cost in terms of capital expense. No? So most of them actually wants to have or to adapt to that multi-cloud infrastructure. Okay, and then again to the booking side of the customer, no, we seeing 67% of web leakage, no, of the guest booking and personal details. So as they input their information and the credit card information in the website, so it's actually subject, okay, to attack, no, from the customer because it's publicly in the internet. Okay, and we are seeing because the attack surface is expanding, no, so all of attacks is actually coming from all directions, no. And then one of the main contributors of that attacks is actually from the POS or the point of sale terminal. No, even though the guest is actually booking months or years, no, before their actual stay, no, some of them actually preferred to pay on site. So that's where the point of sales is actually being used. No, so that's mainly targeted. That's the higher percentage where the attackers targets the POS terminals. Also, we are seeing that because guest is actually not that knowledgeable in terms of the security posture, how to properly move away or protect themselves from any attacks. No, so 48% chance that they will fail to phishing or they will be attacked by the phishing attack, as well as some websites fraudulent. So that's how the hospitality threat landscape is now present. And to emphasize, no, hotels or hospitality industry is actually struggling in terms of complying with the PCI and DSS standards. Okay, although they are subject to that, but not all of the hospitality industries now or hotels now has the capacity or has the technology to fully comply in terms of how they can protect those credit card information and personal information that is they are holding, no, from their guests. Okay, so that's one key. So that's very important to them. As I've said, they hold those informations for a long time, longer than the other industries that we have now. So this problem creates a cybersecurity challenge. And with all of this, no, when an attack or breach comes into the hospitality industry, it provides a lot of impact. No? So one of that is the branding or awareness. No? So, for example, most of the guests actually now has want to have a better experience and then share it to all of their friends or maybe some of the bloggers. No, blogs their stay in the specific hotels. No, that's very important to provide for those guests a best experience. No? Public Wi-Fi with fast internet, reliable internet, worry-free from any attacks, no, so that they can show it and provide and then show that this hotel is best. No? But if that is not provided with them, no, when they experience a problem just in the public Wi-Fi, no, they will actually directly damage, no, the branding of that specific hotels. So maybe that guest will not came back again. So that's one problem, no, together with the other operational problem, like if the breach comes in or if there's an attack, no, there's an operational outage, leading again to a bad experience for the guest. No? So leading to a damage to the brand of the hotels. No? That's very, very, very important and critical to have a good security to provide all of these problems. Okay, so as I've said, digital transformation is very important as it helps organization or hospitality industry to grow, but it needs to have specific security transformation aligned also. So that's why DX requires SX. Because when the digital transformation looks too fast and then the security transformation lags behind, no, that creates a lot of problems. So that's actually the problem that we are seeing now in the hospitality industry because they are fast in adopting the new technologies, cutting edge technologies, but failed to have the same fast and sophisticated security, to protect all of those changes and enhancement on their organization. So to do that, we need to have a new approach or to rethink our approach in terms of our security. So, like for example, we need to have to change the perimeter security to broad coverage because the attack surface actually grows, end to end, a lot of surface. So we need to provide security to all of those surface again present. Okay, next is to remove the siloed security, meaning a siloed is a security that's not talking to each other, not integrated to each other. So it's not giving you the right information in terms of security as well as information of the guest, to make their experience more good. So we need to have an integrated security architecture. Okay. Third is to remove the manual response and to provide an automated detection and response. Because we are seeing a lot in terms of the attacks is actually machine learning already. So it's too fast. So the manual response or manual threat response is actually not reliable already and lagging behind. So we need to have the same manual AI and machine learning fast-paced threat response and automation to provide security. So in Fortinet, actually, Security Fabric enables security transformation. So we can help hospitality organizations with their digital transformation journey. So by providing broad protection, because Fortinet Security Fabric has a broad collections of security solution that is actually integrated to each other. So we can provide broad security with integrated security architecture. So using the single source of truth, our threat intelligence powered by FortiGuard. So our solutions talking to each other, giving information to each other, so you can have one complete visibility into your network, into your networks, and how you see the traffic of the guest, and how you can provide insights on how to more expand the experience of the customer with security. And then lastly, we can also provide automated threat detection and response with our solutions using our AI and ML techniques to identify unknown threats by characteristic, not signature, by the behavior. Okay, so let's see on what part of the solution that we have. So first is the next generation firewall. So this is the security fabric built on FortiGate, and GFWs. This is the core of our built-in solution. Okay, using the powerful security processor to prevent our data residing within our organizations. Okay, and then next is the secure SD-WAN. To leverage our multiple ISPs to provide backup so that our guest experience internet will not be compromised when one of our ISPs goes down. So we have another one for them to be used, so without them knowing. So it provides efficiency and flexibility and to improve the network performance of our guest internet together with our branch locations, locations and remote users accessing the cloud resources. Third is the secure access guest. So meaning we secure the guest Wi-Fi using our FortiAP together with our switch, to provide a fast experience of their internet while giving security. It's tightly integrated to our FortiGate so that the security is actually being pushed by the NGFW to our access point. So using this access point also can provide the user experience is separated from the user experience or the traffic of the internal employee, so that they will not intercept to each other, so that the guest Wi-Fi experience is very reliable. And then the fourth, through the presence analytic, through the Wi-Fi, guest Wi-Fi again, we can improve the guest experience of the hotels, to differentiate themselves and can drive additional revenue. Meaning we can track the online bookings of the customers and knows what customer is interested in terms of what they're accessing. And using the Forti presence, hotel organizations can now track and influence the experience of their guests, and also to determine statistically where they're most located in the hotel and what are they engaging real time, and then use those datas to influence them to make decisions in terms of buying or using sites, or to provide a more customizable experience to our guests within the hotel industry. Okay. Next is the multi-cloud security. So when the hotel industry adapts to multi-cloud infrastructure, so our solutions actually align and can help them on their transformation to multi-cloud architecture. So we also provide endpoint security to protect all of the IoTs, the mobile devices of the corporate networks, as well as remote users of the hotels, so that it will not be breached to the user level. We also have an email and web application security to protect all of the emails and the website or the reservation application of the hotels, so that it will not be goes down when the guest is actually booking, or when the guest is actually on site to retrieve to use their bookings on the hotels, so they can protect that one. Fourth is the advanced threat protection. So this is the sophisticated security that we have within the next generation firewall that actually adheres to the compliance, because it protects the data loss of our guests. So the PCI, or the personal credit card informations. Our solution protects that from data loss, and as well as other unknown threats and spyware, malware, and any form of attacks using our FortiGuard via the advanced threat protection. And then lastly, the management and analytics. This one ties everything together. Through management, we can centrally manage all of the solutions of Fortinet and provide concrete integration and tie it together, so that you can have a single pane of glass for the operations perspective, so that the admin can see it in one single pane, and then have an insight and analytics from all of those sources, and provide meaningful data to use for protection, as well as for enhancing the guest experience. So with Fortinet solutions, we can provide the always-on experience that ensures the guest experience can be delivered without interruption and securely. Okay, we also provide the security-driven networking, where the Fortinet fabric tightly integrates our network infrastructure to the security, so that our digital transformation can be protected along the way. So also an unmatched agility. So meaning we have the security at the core to your network, and you can evolve, expand, and adapt without concerns of every attack surface through the DX, or the digital transformation of the hospitality industry. And then lastly, hyperscale. So we can control every device on every network, and simplify the network deployments with automations, and apply security at scale. So you don't need to worry in terms of expanding your applications or your data within when the guest experience boom or grows. To summarize, Fortinet security protects every connections. We create a zero trust environment that can detect or check every users that is accessing into our organizations, to provide them security and the protection for all of the information that the hotels is gathering. Next is to protect the operations, to ensure that the operation runs smoothly and perfectly every time, so that there's no problem on the experience of our guests. And then to protect the experience of, the most important, to protect the experience of our guests, bringing the guest experience online without compromise, from booking up to the on-site when they are already using their reservations in the hotel. So that's how the Fortinet solutions can provide security in the hospitality industry through their digital transformation. That's all. Thank you for listening.
About digital transformation and e-commerce and making your bookings online and all of this, but maybe for many it is in fact something that's overlooked, that together, as he says, together with digital transformation should be security transformation, because those threats are always evolving, always finding new ways to get through your digital defenses. And so it's really something that we shouldn't be letting our guard down about. So thank you so much again, James, for sharing that presentation with us. All right, we're going to be seeing our speakers in just a while again, because in a minute we're going to be having our Q&A session. But before that, I think you guys already know what's coming up if you joined us before. It is time for our electronic raffle. And we're going to be giving away some exciting prizes. Now, as I mentioned earlier, during the registration, we've already gathered all of your names and automatically added them to our roster of possible winners for today's raffle draw. So there isn't much to do on your part, guys. But let me first reveal our prizes for the day. Of course, our exciting prizes. There we go. Minor raffle prizes for the day is an RK61 mechanical keyboard and a Logitech C920 Pro HD webcam. I think that's even the camera I'm using right now. Look at that. We'll be twinning, guys. Okay. Now, if it's your first time joining us today, the rules are very, very, very simple. We're going to be flashing the name of the raffle winners on the screen. And if you happen to see that it is your name, all you have to do is take a screenshot. There you go, and follow these instructions on the screen. Take that screenshot and email it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph. Subject line, Eastern E-Huddles 25 May 2022 raffle. Include all of your contact info that you see here. All right, of course, very important. We want to be able to reach you and get those prizes to you as soon as possible. All right, so I'm not going to hold the suspense any longer, folks. Let's start with our minor raffle prizes of the day, starting with that RK61 mechanical keyboard. Let's roll that drum roll and reveal the winner. Congratulations to... who's it gonna be this time? Joy Gassman. Congratulations, Joy. You need to take that screenshot right about now because you'll be sending that to us later. I'll give you a couple more seconds for that, Joy. Congratulations. Okay, next up, one more minor prize for the day, and that is the Logitech C920 Pro HD webcam. Let's check it out right now. Okay, roll that drum roll. Who is it gonna be? Congratulations to... All right, Michael Arganosa. Michael, take that screenshot right now. We're gonna give you a couple more seconds to do that. Congratulations to Michael and to Joy, our two winners of those minor raffle prizes. Okay, awesome. Now, before we move things along to our Q&A session, I think we have a special favor to ask of you guys, because we know how much your feedback means to the Eastern Communications team and how you play such a big part in how they create their programs like this one, and how really to best serve you. So we're going to be flashing a QR code on the screen right about now. There it is. That is actually our post-event feedback form. And it would really mean the world to us if you guys could take a moment to scan that. We'll also be flashing it later, and you can let us know your thoughts, because it really is quite important to us. All right, we'll give you a second more, okay? And some extra good news. If you do answer our post-event feedback form, you might just get an extra special treat, because 50 lucky people who fill out that post-event feedback form will also get a chance to win an e-voucher from Giftaway. Fantastic, see? And all you gotta do is fill out that form. And if you missed it, don't worry, we will flash it again a little bit later, okay? But first, it is time for our Q&A session. And at this point, I'd like to invite all of our speakers back on screen. We got a full house today. There we go, 4 of us on the screen. This is pretty rare, folks, to have 4 of us on our panel in one day. So this is pretty cool. I like having so much company on screen. Gentlemen, can we test if we can all see each other and hear each other all right?
Hi.
Hi, hello guys.
Okay, I hear Raph, I hear Gian. James,
Hello.
you okay? There we
Yeah.
go. Wonderful. You know how it is. We could be so far into our digital transformation journey, but we've always got to do these little checks like this. So, gentlemen, thank you to the three of you for your enlightening presentations today. I do have a few questions for you. I'm going to get to that momentarily. Okay, here we are. So here's how it works, gentlemen. I'm going to be asking a general question, one of them, which is for all of you, and we'll go down the line, taking turns to answer that. And then we will have a little more tailored ones for each of you, okay? All right, so let's head on over to our first general question, which is for all of you, like I said. And this says, more enterprises are realizing that with the integration of new technologies to their business operations, it's now time to serve their customers in innovative ways, of course. What do you think is the best tool that they need to start utilizing in the now normal? Raf, you're lucky number one. What are your thoughts on this one?
So that's getting what technology they need.
What do you think is the best tool? Yes.
Well, definitely, I think they'll need stuff that's integratable into smartphones. Just because I think that that's really the medium where things are. The fact that one thing I've noticed is that portrait videos are more common these days than landscape, just because everyone's watching on their phone. Right? So Reels is the right thing, and with the phone comes all the technologies that should be easy to use on the phone, per se, internet, editing software, etc. So just those things, and then of course I think now more than ever, while phones are so useful, computers are also so important now. You really have to put more money into it. In fact, before a salesperson may need a car or a motorbike, today just get him a computer or her a computer, because they can do much more with that than a laptop, than a vehicle, right? So you'll need to invest in that hardware and all the accompanying software so that you can really maximize the engagements. Right?
For sure. I mean, I think the Philippines in general used to be pretty hard-headed about the whole work from home situation. I don't think we were a work from home kind of country, or, in a very small capacity we might have been. But prior to the pandemic, I think a lot of industries had not adapted, equipping their employees for remote work. And so to see it happening now, I think it makes it a very interesting time. So Gian, same question for you. What do you think is the best tool to start utilizing in the now normal? Oh, I think we need your mic there, please, Gian. It happens to the best of us, folks. That's how it is. Okay, I think we're checking on Gian's mic. All right, we're gonna give you a minute to resolve that, Gian. Let me skip on ahead first to James while we're resolving that mic situation. James, same question. Best tool.
Okay, so for me, I think since I covered the IT security, I think I agree with Sir Raf, in terms of the mobile phones and as well as those laptops, But in terms of the security perspective, I think we also need to find the right tools on how to secure those things, And at the same time, while securing those mobile devices and then laptops as they use it, especially work from home, etc. So upon securing that, I think we also need to gather those data that those applications from that mobile phones are also giving, and then using those data, we call it analytics, and then use that data wisely on creating some more customizable maybe offerings for the guests, especially for our hotels industry, so that each and every one of the guests that they're giving feel like they are special. So that adds a lot of goodness in terms of this day, while securing them, because security needs to be always there, in whatever happens. I've said, yeah, I think that's it. That's for me.
Thanks, James. If I could ask a short follow-up question to that, just
Yeah.
to combine Raf's answer with your answer. Overwhelmingly, almost a large chunk of our customers are finding our businesses on their mobile phones, as we've been discussing just now. So are our mobile devices, our cell phones, our tablets, which really are a large portion of our audience, how difficult or how easy is it to, or how at risk are our mobile devices in these situations for our businesses? Is it significantly easier or is it more of a threat for our mobile devices to when we're conducting our business?
Yeah, to answer that honestly, again, that's a good question, Carla. So I think to be honest, no, in terms of that, as everyone is actually all at risk because we all know mobile phones are personal, and then it's up to us at what we are accessing. No? That's, I think, one good thing to add, no, in terms of the sophisticated technology and security that we put in, is also to provide awareness on our users. No? In terms of how we define everything that we are using, especially on the phishing attacks and smishing attacks. As of now, the texting. So some of the attacks are leveraging text messages and then putting some links and then making us think that we need to respond immediately and click those things. No, I think so. We need to combine the sophistication of our technology as well as the awareness to our users. No, when we're talking about the mobile or personal devices. No, so that's one key important things that we really need to be aware for everyone.
Correct. And I'm sure usong-uso ngayon yung mga phishing via SMS. I think multiple times a day, each of us get those messages, and there's always an opportunity for your data to be at risk. And so definitely true on security transformation for all our devices and our networks. Thanks so much, James. Gian, let's check on your mic again. Do you have a chance yet to share your answer with us?
Hello, good afternoon.
There we go. Okay, your turn, Gian.
Again, thank you for that such an interesting question. So I agree with Raf and James for their answer. So basically, knowing the best tools or solutions you need to have or to start utilizing in the new normal is by really understanding first your line of business and the challenges your business has been facing. And once you know what you need to provide or what you need to address, then you can identify the technological tools you really need for your business. And don't go digital for the sake of innovating your business. Of course, you wouldn't want to invest in something in the end you'll regret or regret having, or you won't be needing eventually. And we still have to look for the main reason or identify the problems or the challenges your business needs to address. If your business is into services, for example, of course, you need to go online to serve your customers in innovative ways. And having said that, cloud technologies could help you innovate your business through cloud-based application. Also, networking solutions like SD-WAN and Secure Access Service Edge or SASE can reduce the time to develop new products, deliver them to the market, and respond to the changes in business conditions or investments in innovation and digital transformation, because consumers nowadays are being accustomed of doing things online. Therefore, due to the increase in online activities and digital services, cyber threats have also rapidly increased, and that's why you need cybersecurity solutions to protect your business from cyber attacks.
Thanks so much, Gian. And I think whenever Arca Easterns present here on E-Huddle, I think something that there's always being driven in is that customization factor. I think it's something that Eastern really focuses on, because we might get very excited for our business about digital transformation and just buy everything, buy all the software, buy all the hardware, and it might not necessarily be matched to your specific field or your specific business. And so I really appreciate that with Eastern, it's not just, yes, buy all of this, it's what is right for you and what can we do to make sure that it's the perfect fit for you. So that's something I really appreciate about about Eastern services. All right, folks, that was our general question. Thank you to the three of you. And let's move along now to our individual ones. Raph, we're bringing it back around to you with this first one, which is specifically your question. And this one here says, regarding eco-sustainability, why should organizations and companies take this path seriously? And why is it relevant to any kind of business? And is it really everyone's business?
So I presented earlier some stats about brands that are sustainable growing 5.6 times faster than other brands. I think there's a strong play there, and it refers to the mindset of people starting to understand finally that we don't live in a vacuum with nature, and that the economy is dependent on the foundation of the natural world. And if we continue our economic progress today, the way we consume, the way we travel, the way we eat, the way we buy, right? Then we're going to destroy the very thing that's giving us these benefits, right? So more and more people are learning about it. In fact, in the 2016 election, 70% of voters already wanted an environmental platform from their candidate. That was 2016. That number only increased in 2022, right? And so I've also been hired personally by some agencies to explain to the entire marketing team what sustainability is and how it connects to the ground, because they understand this is where the market's headed, right? So I feel like it's very important for any business, because that's where it is. So any business will use electricity. Every business produces carbon. Every business uses plastic in some way, right? And these are key things we have to monitor: save electricity, reduce carbon, reduce plastic, right? But also, specifically to the travel sector, we are the sector that is most damaged when the environment gets damaged, right? And so you need to pay special attention to the sustainability of your beach, your mountain, your river area, right? And what's very telling, and actually it should be a sign of worry, to be honest, is Secretary Berna saying the Philippines needs regenerative tourism, not sustainable. Why? What's the difference? Regenerative means we're beyond the point that we've gone beyond the balance point. We have to return already what we took, right? That's where we have to go. We have to go to the point where tourism is now net positive instead of just neutral, which speaks that we are at a negative point in our ecology already. And I did show some stats there earlier, right? So if you're in the tourism business, definitely, because nobody pays for a dirty beach. Let's be realistic about that. Nobody pays to swim in a dirty river. So yeah, right? Can you imagine if Manila Bay was completely clean as, let's say, I don't know, Bohol or parts of Palawan? Like, imagine the number of people who'd be there every day, and all the hotels would make a killing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already sort of making a killing now, but that'll just be enhanced further if it's clean. So yeah, eco-sustainability, definitely big money in it if we can do it right. And I'm optimistic that more people will learn about it. And yeah, it's something that we need to train all our companies on, especially because there are laws coming up around it.
Absolutely. And, I think what you were saying in your presentation about, is your business, does it just happen to be located in that beautiful place or in that community, or is it actively a part of making sure that it is flourishing together with your business? And that is something that we've been seeing becoming more popular. And I mean, personally, as a consumer, it's something that I'm starting to demand more from the businesses that I support.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right. And it's I think it's really encouraging to see that more people around us are adopting that same mentality, and it's becoming kind of cool to look for that and to ask for that and eventually demand for that, really.
I agree. Doing good is the next cool thing. I know in the past it was kind of doing the bad thing that was cool, but well, that's how the world works, right? And just to the viewers, especially the CEOs or the directors, right? I guarantee you this crowd will only get smarter and the crowd will only get bigger because where I'm seated alongside the different NGOs, social enterprises, environmental organizations I talk to, we're all moving towards massive education campaigns, right? And these campaigns are currently going viral. So I think that the education's gonna trickle down, like with regardless, especially with all these people having smartphones, computers, right? So it's best to be ready for that wave because when consumers start to ask you for something that you can't give, then they just silently walk away.
Right. And with the number of businesses that are stepping up to this ESG, the ESG platform, it is they are going to go to those businesses instead. Raf, thanks so much. Great starting question for your individual ones. Gian, I've got one for you here. Oh wait, let me toss one to James first, if that's all right. So James, I've got a question for you individually. Yeah. This one here says, how can Eastern and Fortinet help me and my business adapt to the now normal and make sure that we're ready for the next big disruption? Oh goodness, we're not even done with the first one, but here we are already preparing for the next big disruption. What are your thoughts on this, James?
Yeah, for me, I think together with Eastern, one good thing that we can do is basically, as you've said, Eastern can provide a customized offerings and experience for the customer. That includes maybe the connectivity. That's one good thing in terms of the hospitality industry. So the good and fast, reliable connectivity. And then from us, we just need to have the right tool, as I've said a while ago. I think it's interconnected to secure all of our guests. That's not just from the hotel itself, but starting from when they are just looking, even not the booking itself right away. When the guest actually looking for something to stay, whether it's for travel or doing maybe anything. Another thing is to boost those experience together with security and confidence that whatever they put inside those website for reservations, they know that it's fine and that they're okay, and then it's secured. And then because the hotels actually is holding it quite far, maybe because as we all know, we book maybe 1 year before the time that we stay. So that's how we do. So that information in the credit card stays there longer. So with that in mind, we have to provide those security, as I've said, in line to those transformation of digital or any high-tech things. And then to add again, because there's a lot of data, we need to have those analytics, AI. We need to leverage those new technologies and cutting edge things to leverage on all of the data that we are getting, again, with Eastern, to provide those customizable offerings or things that we can give to the guest, even if it's small, but it makes the difference for them to make it special. They stay while securing their stay end to end. Yeah.
Thanks so much, James. Do you think, I guess just a personal addition to this thought, right? Because back in 2020, that this giant disruption happened to us. Yeah. Many of us were completely caught off guard. We didn't know how to adapt. We didn't know how to transform quickly. So given all of this, let's call it preparation, or all of these experiences we've gone through with COVID and pandemic protocols and digital transformation, everything we had to do. Do you think we're going to be more agile in responding to the next big disruption? Do you think we won't be as, caught off guard the next time some big disruption happens?
For me personally, I think yes, we are equipped enough, because if something happens like the same or anything, I think we're ready, because the only thing that actually stops us when the pandemic hits is the disconnection, because we are basically get used to it going to office, going to our personal work things, and then we don't know how to communicate digitally, remotely. So that's the first thing. Even as for example, maybe on the hotels, no. So they're starting to doesn't work, and then they stay, and then communicating to their families or maybe coworkers is hard. But I think we are already prepared in terms of the digital things, as we have all the necessary tools in terms of the protecting ourselves, sanitizing. That's all digital already, high tech in terms of the IoTs. No, I think if not 100% more, but I think we can adapt if the next big disruptions happen. But we are not that too far to be stopped. No? So the only thing that we really need to do is to pass phase on how to secure those things that we are already adopted. As I've said, the digital transformation requires security transformation also. Yeah.
Really has to be hand in hand now. But I agree with you, definitely. I think the big hurdle for us, at least in the Philippines setting, was, you know, that whole digital transformation, because we were a cash society, you know, just starting with that.
Yeah.
We were primarily transacting with cash, and nobody really trusted e-commerce and having your data out there, or your credit card number, or your Gcash and the like. And so I think you're right. The biggest hurdle has been passed, and so I think we are definitely going to be more prepared for the next big disruption.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks so much, James. Gian, I've got a question for you now for our Ka-Eastern view. So this one here says, you mentioned that Eastern Communications is constantly innovating in order to address the pain points of its customers in the industries that it serves. Can you give us examples of your upcoming services that would help your customers innovate and transform?
Eastern Communication is continuously developing variety of products and services that will help address the varied connectivity and ICT needs of business today and help them to achieve their business goals. We'll definitely share with everyone as soon as we launch new products. And I mentioned SASE, and this comes from the needs for security, reduced cost, hyperscalability, and simplified management of business in today's landscape. We're also growing and strengthening our cybersecurity solutions portfolio, and we're working closely with our partners like Fortinet to make sure that we can address the security concerns of our customers, most especially now that having a strong security posture is important for the future proofing of businesses. And we've launched Eastern VSAT to address the connectivity requirements of business in underserved and hard to reach areas of the country, and address the needs of businesses to have internet connectivity during the future disruptions. And these are just some of the products and solutions we recently launched, and we'll make sure to keep everyone updated.
Thanks, Gian. Looking forward to that. And I think to connect it to what Raf's been talking about, you know, there are so many ecotourism options out there that we wish we could, you know, get access to, or find out more, or make a booking, but you know, they don't necessarily have the tools that are needed to be able to reach audiences like us. And so I think seeing, you know, can we play matchmaker here between you guys, just make it happen, and you know, really seeing Eastern collaborating with these different partners is so encouraging to see, I think. Especially the one you mentioned about reaching far-flung areas. That's very exciting, I think. Okay, thanks so much for that, Gian. All right, Raf, we're gonna bring it around back to you for another question here. This one here says, what practices and tools would you recommend to push forward or promote environmental sustainability in the tourism industry? Any specific practices and tools?
Practices and tools. I think for practices, we just go back to the basics, right? Walk wherever possible, use less fuel. I'm sure people are trying to do that with the price hike, right? And then use less electricity wherever possible. And so if you're going to build, I specifically put that bit about green ants in the end, because I want people to be more mindful about building. And I didn't have enough time, but I was going to suggest if you do build so that your structure also has fresh air coming in and out. Build so that it is insulated, so it's cooler. It'll drop your electrical significantly if your structure is 5 to 10 degrees Celsius cooler. It's possible. Just get the right designer for your for your structure, right? So those are some of, I guess, the basic things you could do. And then the other one would probably be, right, like I think there's a lot of, for sustainability in general, right? It is a information game because we have to tweak the way we live in many ways, right? Whether it's how we eat, how we play, how we travel, how we consume energy. So I think that having the right, if possible, and I don't know if it's possible for everyone, but like having the right technologies like apps or like, again, it goes back to computers and cell phones that allow you to measure like your own usage of different things would be very, very helpful, right? Because let's face it, what gets measured, gets managed very well, right? So if people can come up with, can get that would be great, right? At the same time, and I'll share this recent experience. If you're not online, right, and you can't access digital payments, in the tourism world, not every town has a bank, right? And so without the digital payment systems, accessing cash becomes so expensive. So there's one time I made the mistake of not getting the right. I had to remit money to the community, and I was supposed to do it. I couldn't do it online, right? So I had to do it in cash, and I forgot to withdraw. So in the end, I was in the town, and I had to pay a hefty 3% just to access cash,
Oh no.
right? On top of it, right? Versus eventually, I got them a cell phone, I got them internet. I was like, guys, just open a bank account here, go with you to the bank, and then now the transfers are cheaper, a lot, definitely not 3%, right? And for tourism, that 3% adds up a lot, right? So having that connectivity would, I think, really help, and understanding the financial tools you can use for payment, whether it's GCash, PayPal, etc.
Definitely. If I could ask quickly to add on to that, because this is about practices and tools, and a lot of our talks today have been about the hospitality industry in particular, right? So I think a tough segment to work with is the guests themselves, because they come to a hotel, or they come to a resort or a restaurant. They're like, I'm here to relax and have fun and not think about anything. I'll have the aircon on all day, or whatever, right? And so what do you think is a good practice or tool to get the guests on board in terms of practicing or promoting environmental sustainability as well, doing their part in the tourism industry?
Well, tourism is a very show and tell kind of industry, right? So what I find is very effective is if you can kind of show people what happens if they don't do their practices, right? And so show them a clean beach, show them a dirty beach. In many ways, some of the best properties I've been to have very entertaining briefings, right? If you can tell that story of your area better, that would be very effective, connecting it especially to the local community and to the environment, right? Which are the two big trends in tourism that are taking over. Right? So I think that would work. There's one example, Mount Puro Nature Reserve, where they explain what the effect of your water is. Like if you shower more than 10 minutes, it will explain how that affects everyone else in the town, because there's limited water supply. And it explains why they don't have aircon and how they designed it so that you don't really need AC, why they planted the trees in those areas. So you have to tell a story well in tourism so people understand, because in many ways, because it's fun, you already have people's attention. So you just have to feed them the right information. So having that taking that opportunity to educate at every point possible in a fun way, of course, is
Yeah,
I
so
think the main thing for tourism.
yeah, and you may be on vacation, but you're not on vacation from responsible from responsibility and making sure the community you're in is not affected, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
thank-
That's true.
thanks a bunch for that, Raf. I think we've got some great insights today on ecotourism and being a responsible business and consumer. So thanks for that. James, I have one more question for you before we give our parting messages. And this one here says, digital transformation, business continuity, and security for any company comes with its own set of pains and challenges. What do you think are the top pain points for services industry? And how can technologies like broadband protection, automated threat detection and response, etc., help address them? Thoughts on this one, James?
Okay, I think that's an interesting question because I think I need to answer it a little bit in technology and a little bit in the personal things. Because as we all know, I think it's not necessarily a pain points, but it's a matter of I think adapting to what is actually the needs of the guest now. As we all know, guests is actually our customers or us. No? We are adapted already doing digital communications. So whenever we're in the hotels or maybe even we're in remote areas, we're still tend to find things to communicate to our family, right? So I think the services industry, what really needs to provide is actually to adapt on those needs of the guest. No, that the first example for that is when you go to the hotel, what the first thing that you are asking to them, no, that's the Wi-Fi. So you want to have the Wi-Fi, although there's a lot of amenities there in the hotels. No, you will use it later, but the first thing you do is to have that Wi-Fi. And then if you are a blogger, that's a must, I think. So for you to do your things, no, as I've added, as to add it up to that, some of the guests now is not just a vacation or a tourist. No, some are doing the what we call staycation. So they go
or
to hotel just
workation.
to workation. So they just stay to hotel so that they relax, but actually they are still working. So what they ask is a fast, reliable internet. So again, we will go back to how the hotel industry needs to adapt to those needs in terms of the experience and reliable internet, as well as how they can protect those guests, that they are using. Because again, they are not just putting their credit card on top of the credit card information. All of the things that they're doing can affect the experience of the customers. So in terms of that, again, the technology advancement, like us in Fortinet, we can provide the automated threat detection and response. So that is actually internally being work it out, without knowing from the guest, because we don't want our guests to know those things. No, we just want to provide them the good experience while protecting them. So they don't basically want to know that. So they just want to have the good experience, and then the bulk of they need. So as the hoteliers transform, adapt more, or maybe expanding their internet, as well as some other analytical or customizable experience, using the technology that they are gathering, like how their guest is behaving within their perimeter area. What are their likes? What are their most accessing? So that little bit things needs to be analyzed in terms of analytics. And then again, we need to align all of that with best of breed security, so that they will not be compromised throughout their stay. So that's very important. Yep.
Thanks, James. I'd like to I'd just like to expand a little on that thought of how workations are very much a thing now, or because you can work remotely, a lot of people will go on these vacations, work from a restaurant, etc. And here on E-Huddle, something we've been talking about a lot is that because this is now an option for many of us, for much of the workforce, we're essentially bringing our offices everywhere with us. But by doing that, we're also bringing all of our companies. Maybe we're logged into. Thank you. We're bringing all of our company accounts that are logged in. We're bringing maybe some important files with us that if we connect to the wrong Wi-Fi network, we leave a device unattended or something. there's a lot of important data that could, be compromised. And so I appreciate what you said about how, it's so true that for many, the first thing they ask for is the Wi-Fi, right? And so again, the whole concept of security transformation together with your digital transformation, I think is so very important and, inevitable, really. So James, thanks so much for sharing those insights with us. And gentlemen, we're out of time for our Q&A, but some great conversations here. And I think we've definitely learned so much, both from your presentations and this little Q&A session of ours. But before we say goodbye, if I could ask you all for a brief parting message, starting with you, Raf, a little goodbye message for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Thanks again for inviting me here. And to those watching, your business is 24/7. And people are going to be, the demands of customers are changing. So I think it would be very good to start simple, where you start training your people and have that conversation with your team. Where are they in their journey to sustainability? If they're already on it, right? So that's something I think people can take a look at. And yeah, if you want to go for a hike or a beach trip, please let us know. Keep us in mind. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Raf. I'm sure a lot of people are going to take you up on that now that we're allowed to be going out again and to take trips again. It's something that I think many of us missed so much. So it's good. It's good to be able to see these options emerging again for us. James, final parting message from you.
Okay, guys. Again, thank you guys for inviting us here. It's a wonderful pleasure to present to you and then to share knowledges and also learn from my co-presenters a lot of things, especially on the sustainability. Again, guys, in terms of digital transformation, we want to emphasize that we need to be secured. We can depend on all of the technologies, but first of all, we are the ones who need to be aware in terms of what we are always accessing. So on top of that digital security that we can provide, so still we are the first line of defense on ourselves. So just be mindful of everything that we do, especially again on those scams, etc., and then phishing and phishing. So just always be mindful. Think that it's always what everyone said. Think before you click. So yeah, so happy accessing from everywhere and working from everywhere, guys, securely. Thank you.
Especially those SMS messages that we get every day. So thanks so much, James. We really can't stress enough how important and how constant cybersecurity is for all of us. It's not a set it and forget it thing. And, it's always good to be speaking with cybersecurity experts here on E-Huddle. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, Gian, for our Ka-Easterns here today, could you please wrap it up for us?
Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon, especially to my co-panelists, James and Raf. It's my pleasure to share the same virtual stage with you, and we hope that we were able to share relevant insights and that would be in the better positions to adapt to the changes in how business and life will be conducted moving forward. We at Eastern Communications are your partners in navigating the business landscape. So please do not hesitate to contact us. We are looking forward to hearing from you. And again, thank you everyone and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thanks, Gian. Always, it's always so good here on E-Huddle to see how Eastern is a partner and really a friend to everybody who is tuned in. And so, always looking forward to these sessions. Thank you. Gentlemen, to the three of you, Raf, Gian, and James, thank you for your time and looking forward to next sessions. Okay, that concludes our Q&A. Let's give a big virtual applause for all of our speakers and all of the insights they had to share with us. And don't hesitate to get in touch with them for further discussions. All right, don't go anywhere just yet, everybody, because it is time to give away that raffle prize, the major raffle prize. Don't think we've forgotten, which is the 1 terabyte Extreme Portable SSD. There it is. All right, folks, we've given away that webcam. We've given away the keyboard. So it's time now. If you missed the instructions earlier, very, very simple. We're going to walk you through it one more time. And it is this. There you are. If you are the winner of today's major raffle prize, your name will be flashed on the screen. And if it is your name, all you have to do is take a screenshot and email it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph and include all of this info that you see on your screen. All right. Of course, we want to be able to get that prize to you as soon as possible, right? All right, everyone. I will not hold the suspense any longer. Let's find out who our big winner of the day is. Roll that drum roll. A big congratulations to... Okay. Rod Celestial. Congratulations to you, Rod. Winner of a 1 terabyte SanDisk portable SSD. Take that screenshot right now, Rod. You're going to need it. I'm going to give you a couple seconds more to do that. All right. And now, if you missed this earlier, folks, we're going to flash this QR code one more time because it really means so much to us. It means so much to your Ka-Easterns to hear what you have to say and what we can do better or what you want to see more of. So if you could take a second to scan that QR code, that would be fantastic. Plus, a bunch of you have a chance to win a special gift-away voucher just by filling up that post-event feedback form. Ain't that great? Okay. All right, I hope you guys took a second to scan that, so thanks. Now, lastly, before we officially say our goodbyes for now, let's hear from the head of sales of Eastern Communications. Let's all welcome Mr. Michael Castañeda.
Thank you very much, Carla. The last couple of years forced all businesses to accelerate their digital transformation journey. Much focus was put on the technology or tools needed to adapt and survive in a post-COVID landscape. But if I may, I would like to inspire everyone who's running a business to take a pause. Maybe step back a little and take time to build and reinvigorate the heart of your organization. That is our human resource. Apart from incentives, let's provide them with more meaningful experiences and opportunities for growth. Tap not only their backs, but also their humanity. Help them discover what makes them feel happy and loved. Give yourself a reward or something to smile about. Believe me, these little things you do for yourself and for your people will provide the building blocks of creativity that will truly ignite not only strategies, but also love for work and for people. I hope that the insights that were shared this afternoon will help stimulate and put you in a better position to emerge stronger this year. Always remember, Eastern is your partner, and I encourage you to reach out and have a dialogue with your respective account managers to know more about how we can work with you. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Stay safe and healthy. God bless us all.
Sir Mike, a big thank you as always, and to all of you, our dear Ka-Easterns who are here this afternoon for taking the time to join us and listen in. Always such a good time. You're always so much to learn, and it is always exciting and a pleasure to get to know our different speakers and get all these insights from them. So again, thank you to our speakers today. This way, we can all rise together and certainly emerge stronger. Once again, this is Carla Barretto, your host, signing off. And we hope to see you again at our next E-Huddle happening on June 8th. Until then, have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, everyone.